Hello, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Link, and today I'm gonna go through 8 different things that I wish I knew when I transitioned from Division II softball to my personal fitness journey. So to give you a quick background, I played Division II softball for Kutztown University for 3 years. I was hurt my senior year, so I didn't get to play that season, but it was definitely a tough transition period playing softball my entire life leading up to college, being so proud of being able to play on a collegiate team and then have my senior year ruined from an injury, and then from there having to transition into my own personal fitness journey. It was very, very tough. It was very challenging, and these are just some things that I wish I knew when I started. If you can relate to any of these, if you feel me on any of these, make sure you comment below which one resonated with you the most, or if all of them resonated with you, let's be friends. But before we dive in, make sure you give this video a thumbs up and subscribe so you never miss a video from me. Number 1, it is okay to ask for help, all right? Decision fatigue is very real, and if you're not sure what decision fatigue is, you can check right here. But decision fatigue is basically if you look at your ability to make decisions, or we'll even say your energy levels, overall as a battery, right? So every time you make a decision, you're slowly taking away. Obviously, big decisions are going to take big chunks out of your battery, where smaller decisions are going to take smaller chunks away. So if we're going through our day, you now work a full-time job, so that's already different. You have to make decisions at work, on top of making decisions like things, what should I wear today? What do I want to eat for breakfast? What coffee do I want from Starbucks this morning? Do I run this red light or do I sit through it? All those things. That's such a bad example. But all of those things will take a toll on your battery. And then when you're making bigger decisions, that's going to add up. So by the time you get to the gym, or even have to make the decision of whether or not you're going to go, it can be overwhelming, right? You're exhausted. You may not make the best decision. And then the next day you beat yourself up because you didn't make the best decision. And now it's an endless cycle of just disappointment. So the point of asking for help is eliminating some of those decisions. You have someone to help you with your food, help you with your mindset, give you a program, give you the days you need to go to the gym. So you're literally not even thinking about it. You're just following instructions. And the second part to go along with that is ditching the ego, okay? So a lot of times we're like, well, I'm an athlete. I trained my whole life. I know what I'm doing. I don't need help. The amount of just stupid workouts that I did because I was just like, well, this is what I did in college, so like it'll still work. It's tough. I understand, okay? So first thing you need to do is drop the ego. Allow yourself to ask for help. I get why I know what I'm doing. I've been there. I've done this. But it's completely different when you're training for your sport versus training for yourself, right? And plus, when you were in your sport, you had a coach telling you what to do anyway. So drop the ego of, oh, I know what to do. I can do this on my own. And ask for help. There's nothing wrong with asking for help. Number 2, internal motivators are key. So if you don't already know a lot about motivation, you have internal motivators and you have external motivators, or intrinsic, extrinsic. So internal motivators are achievement or just accomplishment driven, enjoyment driven, okay? Where external, outside factors, so things like getting a reward of, like you're in a championship, you win the trophy, you get a raise at work, all of those things are external rewards because you're receiving something for those accomplishments, right? Where versus if you're doing it for internal factors of you're doing it for yourself, you're doing it because you love to do it. I work out because I love to work out, right? I could look at it as an external is, well, this is what I do for my job, or I'm doing it to win a competition. No, my biggest internal motivator to work out, or just overall motivator to work out, is that I love to exercise and I love to move my body. And I can tell you, our motivation, when it's an internal motivator, is going to be stronger than anything else. Why? Because you actually care about it, right? It's more than just like, hey, I got this trophy and now I have this trophy, cool. Nobody cares, okay? But if you achieve something because it's something for you and you do it out of enjoyment and pleasure and you're just happy to do it, it's gonna mean so much more. Think about it this way. When we do things that we love to do, we don't necessarily feel motivated to do them. We just do them because we want to do them, right? That's an internal motivator. I want your motivation to be so strong that it literally doesn't feel like motivation. It feels like you do that because you want to do that, right? Because you get that sense of accomplishment. You feel excited to do those things. That is still motivation. We just look at it a little differently. So, perfect example here. I am not a runner, okay? I played softball, we ran 60 feet, we stopped, okay? So, I am not a great runner. I do not love to run. I am not fast, all of those things, which is completely fine. But I love doing 5Ks. I don't know what it is. I think it's the mental challenge more than anything, but I just feel so accomplished because that's not my favorite thing to do, that when I do something along those lines, I feel so freaking accomplished. So for example, I have a 5K, right? I signed up for this 5K, and I could very easily be like, no, I'm just gonna push it off, I'm gonna push it off. But my internal motivator is because I love to do them and I think it's fun and it's something different and it just mixes up my routine. And I don't go into it of like, oh, well, I want to place first or second or whatever. I just go in of like, I'm just going to run this 5K. Like, how fun, cool. But if I went in with the mindset of, well, I have to place, I have to do this, I have to do that, I would honestly probably push it off and push it off and push it off and be like, oh, I'll do the one in 2 years because I want to make sure I'm fully prepared for it. I need to be trained. Where I could just go on, I Run for Movement or whatever the website is that I got the last one off of, and be like, hey, I'm gonna run a 5K. Cool, great, when do I wanna do it? Let's do it next weekend. Boom, and then it's done, and I feel so accomplished because I'm like, damn, I just ran that 5K and I didn't even train for it. Number 3, you can go on vacation and stay on track, or don't. Either way, it's completely okay. Time off is good. You need some time off, okay? So, for a while, when I first got done my athletic career, I would go on vacation and it would be one of two things. I would either binge and go absolutely insane of like, woo, nothing to do, nobody to report to, I can do whatever the hell I want. Or I would go in and be like, well, I have to stay on track, I don't want to lose my progress, I gotta do this, I gotta do that, I gotta do this, I gotta do that. Either way, those mentalities aren't great, but you do now have the freedom to say, I'm gonna work out, or I'm not gonna work out. Okay, and this doesn't have to just be vacation. That was just what it was for me. But a big thing that I felt after I graduated and after I was cleared to do things again was I don't really have to, right? If I want to, great, I'm gonna go do it because I love to, but I don't have to. There's nobody that's gonna yell at me that I didn't do it today, or nobody gonna get on me because I missed practice. There is no punishment when I miss a workout. And let me tell you, that is very freeing. But if you do that for too long, you may find yourself way off track. Understanding that time off is okay. I just recommend having some sort of a structure to it. That way you know where you're going. But the biggest thing, time off is okay, rest is needed, and you can enjoy vacations without feeling like you have to report back to someone. Number 4, you can try new things. So you probably grew up training one way, or at least a very similar way most of your life as you were training for your sport. Well, now you get to literally pick and choose whatever you want to do. I know me personally, when I graduated, I was on this like big yoga kick because I had just taken a yoga class for my major. Yes, I got to take a yoga class for my major in college, sports management. But I was on this big yoga kick because when I grew up in my sport, all I did was I was lifting and I was running. Okay, so I wanted to just do something different and just change it up and not feel like I was continuing to train for my sport. Okay, so you are allowed to try different things. There is no perfect way to lift. There's no perfect way to exercise. Do what feels good for you. If you want to try different things, try different things. I know a lot of people that stopped lifting for their sport and transitioned into yoga, and some loved it, some didn't love it as much. Me personally, I'm a weightlifter. I love to weightlift. That's just where I'm happy. That's what I like to do. So that's what I focus on. But if I didn't want to do that, there's nothing wrong with that. Exercise is what you're focusing on here, not training for a sport. You're just trying to move your body in a way that feels really good. So I do recommend going to spin classes, taking a yoga class, Do different things. Go hiking. I don't know, whatever other sport you want to try, but try different things. See what you enjoy, see what feels really good for you, and then if you don't like those as much as lifting or whatever you're doing when you train for your sport, then go back to that, okay? You have so much freedom and flexibility to do the things that you want to do. Don't let it overwhelm you, okay? Don't feel like you are stuck in this because that's all you know. Try something new. Number 5, structure or planning is crucial. Crucial, okay? So we grew up most of our life with a coach, with a team, with a practice schedule, with a game schedule. We had so much structure. We could literally look at our calendar and be like, boom, 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 boom. That's what I have to do these days, right? Well, when you're done your sport, you no longer have that. But you can build your own, right? You don't have to have someone else doing it for you. If you don't want to work out on Wednesdays, don't work out on Wednesdays. You have the full flexibility to do what you want to do and make it work for you. But I will tell you, structure and planning has been crucial for not only not only myself, but all of my clients. They love the structure that we build together of this is what we do, this is when we do it. Again, tapping back into that decision fatigue of they don't have to worry about it because I'm there for them. But I do this for myself as well. I have a schedule that I follow because that's what I like. And that's what makes me feel good. And if I can sit down, take some time on a Sunday and plan out, what do I want to eat this week? How much water do I need to drink? How can I get that water? And 3, what are my workouts that I'm going to do this week? Take an hour out of your Sunday and plan all of that out. It's amazing. Because come Thursday, Friday, when you're exhausted and you're like, oh, I am ready for the weekend, girl. Guess what? You already have a plan in place to follow, get it done, and then boom, you can relax from there. Okay? So having a structure, having a plan is so freaking important. This is probably my favorite tip, honestly. Number 6, you do not have to perform the same way you did when you played. I'm going to repeat that again. You do not have to perform the same way that you did when you played, okay? So if you ran a 7-minute mile when you were playing your sport and you don't run a 7-minute mile anymore, that is a-okay, okay? If you used to squat 200 pounds, good for you. You don't want to do that anymore, that's okay. It doesn't matter, okay? You are in a different chapter of your life now. You can release that need to be who you were and start becoming someone else. Even if you loved who she was, that's great. You can work towards that, but you don't have to be that, right? That person, that player was in a completely different spot than you are right now, okay? So old you doesn't have to compete with new you, and new you doesn't have to compete with old you. Old you is not new you. They're different people, and that is okay. It's expected. I'm not going to perform the same way I did when I was in high school or even in college. I'm just not, I've had injuries since then. My shoulder's shot. Like I don't perform that way anymore, and that's okay. It's not a big deal, okay? I'm actually way more proud of what I've accomplished post athletics than I did during athletics. So it's all just how you look at it. Number 7. Is that a 7? Does that look like a 7? 7? Number 7. Release the win or fail mentality, okay? This kind of taps into the last one, number 6, but you can release the need for perfection. You don't have to constantly be all in or all out. It doesn't have to be win or fail. If you have a shitty workout one day, reflect on it. What could you have done better and move forward, right? It's not a failure, okay? It's not a big deal. It may feel like it is right now, and I understand that. But we have to be able to release that. And the biggest thing that you can do to get out of this mentality is to reflect. What went well on the good days? How did all this feel? How can you make this happen again? Versus the bad days of like, okay, this didn't go so well. What can I do next time to make sure that I improve? What can I do next time to set myself up for success? That way you stay in this column. And number 8, what was that? Anyway, number 8, community is empowering, okay? You grew up with a team, you grew up with a coach, whether you were on a huge team or a small team, you still had people around you, okay? Recreate that. Join Facebook groups, talk to people at the gym, make new friends that are trying to do the same things that you're doing. I don't care, talk to people on Instagram, whatever you want to do, but create a community around you. That is why my mastermind girls thrive the way that they thrive, because they're all former athletes, they're washed up, but they are tapping into removing the decision fatigue. They have a support system, they have a coach to guide them through everything. But the biggest thing that they all get out of this is the friendships that they build during their time together. So these girls literally day and night have each other's back. One girl will message in the group of like, oh, I'm just having a really bad day at work, don't want to do my workout today, or I need motivation, help me get out of bed this morning. And then boom, all these text messages come in of, you got this, you can do this, go get it girl, you got this, you got this. Oh my God, you look great. Wow, you crushed that workout, nice job. All these different messages are so freaking empowering and supportive. And I love to be able to sit on my phone and be like, yes, 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 look at them go. I love it, okay? So develop a community, build your community, find your tribe, and I promise you those bad days won't be as bad, right? Think of when you had a bad game or a bad practice. Who was there for you? Your teammates, I hope, and your coach, right? Recreate that, build that. You grew up in that setting, so you know you thrive in that setting. Get a new team, okay? So if you're looking to join somewhat of a team, I guess we'll call it, it's a community, it's definitely a community. My Facebook group, okay? Former athletes dominating their personal fitness journey. It's amazing. We have so much fun in there, so highly recommend joining. I'll have the link down below in the description box. So I want to quickly recap all of those. Number 1, it is okay to ask for help. Number 2, internal motivators are key. Number 3, you can go on vacation and stay on track, or don't. Either way, it's okay. Number 4, you can try new things. Number 5, structure and planning is so helpful. Number 6, you do not have to perform the same way as when you played. You're a different person now. Number 7, release the win or fail mentality. And number 8, community is so empowering. So those are just 8 things that I wish I knew when I transitioned from collegiate softball to my personal fitness journey. If any of these connected with you, let me know which one below in the comments. I'd love to chat with you more about it, and I'll catch you in the next video. Bye.